We have recently entered into an employment program which has added many women factory workers to our payroll. Women are being assigned in jobs heretofore performed by men and are apparently doing a satisfactory job. We are issuing these two bulletins for your information. Work clothing, female factory workers. Women are not little men. This information should help you men in the difficult task of placing women in your departments.
When the corporation started hiring women during World War II, it was made a condition of employment that all women working in the manufacturing area wear a safety cap. The purpose of such a ruling was to prevent the occurrence of scalpings, which were quite common in industry at the time, due to a stepped-up program of using female employees on machine operations. These accidents were usually caused by the hair on the front of the head becoming caught by rotating tools and spindles and being wound so tightly that the scalp was literally torn from the head of the victim. Naturally, such accidents were terrifically painful, and the disfigurement was sad indeed. Since vanity is a characteristic of all women, most of them try to tilt, cock, or bend the visors of their safety caps to make them as becoming as possible. It is obvious that without control of such practices, the cap could become a mere gesture and fail completely to give the intended protection to the hair. This shows how safety caps are to be worn by women factory workers at the corporation. Women will be expected to keep their hair tucked under the cap. The foreman, in turn, is expected to see that women workers consistently follow this rule. Cooperation in this matter is necessary.
Robert Miller of Toronto waited in anxious hopefulness today for word that an operation, described by hospital authorities as a miracle of modern surgery, will bring back to him the girl that he was to have married Saturday. She is 23-year-old Lucy Stevenson, whose scalp was torn off from her eyebrows to the nape of her neck when her hair became entangled in an industrial machine she was cleaning in a munitions plant here yesterday. She never lost consciousness during the accident or subsequent trip to the hospital, and the words she kept repeating were, "What shall we do about Saturday?" Well, first we had to cleanse the torn tissue of grease and part of the victim's clothing. Then the scalp was replaced. Soft dressings followed, and these were covered with bandages which were wound fairly tight to give the scalp a chance to adhere and reestablish a blood base. Miss Stevenson will have slight scars above the eyes if the operation is successful. But these scars can be removed. Meanwhile, her fiancé waits.
The placement of women workers in our plants is often perplexing and irritating to our already harassed foremen and group leaders, who are losing skilled male help that can only be replaced with inexperienced female help. To appreciate the fact that the physical characteristics of the job must be suited to women's physique, we must all understand that women are not little men and cannot be expected to do even a little man's job if work conditions are planned for men and not for women. In physical strength, men are superior to women. They have less stamina than men and are more susceptible to fatigue and occupational ills. Women in general have about 1/2 the average man's lifting strength and about 2/3 of the average man's pulling strength. The ratio of muscular strength between men and women is 29 to 18. A woman weighing 125 pounds is only 62% as strong as a man of the same weight, the average woman's body being 35% muscle, as compared to the average man's body being 41% muscle. A man's hand grip is about 81 pounds, whereas women's grip is about 48 pounds. Altogether, men are about 30% stronger than women. We are likely to think that continuous labor will develop strength in women as it does in men. However, this is not so. For in countries where females have done the laborious tasks for centuries while the males have led indolent lives, investigators tell us that these fully developed women have only 66% of the strength of their husbands. In women, exercise and work still keeps the fat tissue where we desire to see it, and seldom develops the muscles as in the male. The lesser muscular strength in women is normal and required for her life's function, motherhood. If we place her in man's occupation, we must plan her work accordingly to her physical strength. Blood differences are an important factor in the fatigue of women workers and their susceptibility to occupational diseases, their slower recovery from muscle action, their vertigo and fainting spells, and their tiredness following sustained work. Every cubic millimeter of women's blood has 1.5 million fewer red blood corpuscles than man's, or 30% less of these red cells in the entire body. The working efficiency of a woman drops off the hour before lunchtime and the last hour of the shift. If it is possible to arrange work so that seats can be used, production will increase.